Fab. So hello and welcome. So this is the first time we've done this presentation. Appreciate any feedback as we go along. Feel free to drop your name and your contact details in the group chat. You should never miss an opportunity to network. So this is an opportunity to network. So feel free to add your details there. And welcome to JFDI Secrets. I want to start by just asking you how 2020 was going for you. It's been a bit of a strange time. Do you want to move on, Wendy? Thank you. Presentation working? Yay! So yeah, how's it been for you? I don't think it was the year that any of us had planned, really. There's all sorts of things been going on. Face masks are the new fashion accessory. Staying in is the new going out. Nearly everyone's working from home. So yeah, it's all been a bit strange. But obviously with the time of massive uncertainty can also be a time of massive opportunity. So that's probably the reason why we started with this presentation. I wanted to take you right into that opportunity to start with a wee quote from David Bowie. I like a wee quote, and David's always good to talk about. If you feel safe in the area you're working in, you're not working in the right area. Always go a little further into the water than you feel you're capable of being in. Get a little bit out of your depth. And when you don't feel that your feet are quite touching the bottom, you're just about in the right place to do something exciting. How's that feel?
That's quite powerful. Yeah.
I like that. It's a cracking quote.
Yeah.
So basically, that's the purpose of this session. What we wanted to do was kind of share a little bit of knowledge and experience. I know I personally have been really, really lucky. I've been able to sail through this unusual time. And I really haven't had to worry too much about stuff. I think that's because I'm very much in control of my own income and I've got a lot of income streams, and it's been a nice feeling not to have to stress for every penny. So Wendy and I were chatting about that, and we wanted to kind of get across and give other people the opportunity to feel like that, because we both felt quite lucky and privileged in the circumstances. So we wanted to share our experience because we'd love everyone else to feel that kind of flexibility and that freedom. Because we honestly don't know what's coming up in the next year. We don't know what's coming up in the next 6 months. So although it's uncertainty, it felt like an opportunity, and that's why we pulled together the presentation. This session is aimed at anyone, really. It's aimed at anyone who's currently in employment and perhaps feeling a little bit insecure about the future. Or it might be that your future's secure, but actually you're not enjoying what you're doing anymore. Or it could be that you're already working for yourself, but you could really do with a second income stream and you don't know where to start. So there's lots of people that this presentation would appeal to. And if you know anyone who would benefit from it, please kind of point them in our direction, because we really are just sharing experience here. I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce my partner in crime, Dr. Wendy Snedden. Wendy, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes. Wendy Snedden, and similarly to Kath, it's been a challenging 2020, but because I have a mixture of income streams coming in, I felt reasonably comfortable about where I am. So I do the property development and again a mixture of rentals and serviced accommodation. So even within the property, mixed income streams, and obviously one's been going really well and the holiday accommodation has dropped off. So it's been quite interesting. So I do property development, I do a bit of HR consultancy work, and I'm also, I run a business with my husband. He has a garage. I'm a published author. I've written a book on Get Out of Your Way. It's the step-by-step guide for entrepreneurs in how to attract, recruit and retain a winning team. Helps you build the foundations for your business and teaches you about all things HR. I've also been doing a little bit of teaching and training over the last couple of years, and got the opportunity to be a TEDx speaker just before Christmas, so that was really amazing. So yes, I'm just taking every opportunity that comes my way, and we thought it would be a great idea to share some of the income streams that we've got to see whether it might be of interest to other people. Over to you.
Thanks, Wendy. Wendy will be coming back into the presentation a little bit later, but for now it's over to me. My background, I spent 25 years in corporate, but while I was happily and gainfully employed, I started to do a lot of things for myself as well. So I started off as an eBay seller. That was my first kind of step into my own personal business. Ended up running the local pub for a while, as well as working full time. Built a property portfolio and started investing in equities as well. So I've had a lot of things going on, and that helped me when I was comfortable and ready to leave employment. That meant that I'd got a few backup things and a few things in my back pocket as well. Run a coaching consultancy. And I also invest in small businesses as well. So again, between us, we've got a range of experience. Now, a disclaimer up front, we are not qualified professionals in this field, because I'm not sure that anyone is. And we're certainly not offering advice. What we're trying to do is share experience. We would advise anyone who wants to do anything for themselves, whether it's use their money to develop further income or start a business. You need to talk to professionals as well, do your due diligence. What we're trying to do here is give you a starter and some ideas. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. This is what's worked for us, and you know, if you put the time and effort in, it could work for you too. But there are never any guarantees.
So let's move on, and let me introduce you to the supercomputer, the human brain. Because we're interested in what stops people, what tends to stop people starting their own business. And in order to do that, I thought it was worth explaining a little bit about the human brain and how it works. Basically, the human brain is a computer, and it has a default program. And that default program is designed to protect us. The human brain protects you from things that it perceives as threats. Now, to be fair, we evolved at a time when everything was a threat. When you walked out of the entrance to your cave to go and club a rabbit over the head so that you could eat it for tea, and you know, you could be stalked by tigers. That's kind of where the programming evolved. So your brain has evolved to see everything as a potential threat. If it's something that is unfamiliar in any way whatsoever, your brain drops to default program, and it says either fight, flight, or freeze, which is great if you're about to get eaten by a tiger, but not so good if you want to actually take a step into the unknown. So it tends to be that you get in your own way when starting something new, and if something's out of your comfort zone, then yeah, your brain's going to say, don't want to do this, and your action is probably going to be run away or do nothing, which is what most people do. The good news is you can train your brain. We all can. It takes time, it takes effort, but you can change that default programming, and you can make yourself comfortable with anything, but it takes practice. It doesn't just happen overnight. It's not an automatic thing. So if you're going to step out and do something for yourself, find the right training, find the right support, most of all, surround yourself by the right people. But if you can stop getting in your own way, you can move forward and you can see opportunities. So because the default programming's there, that's what drives us to the first secret that we need to uncover. I'm going to move you on to the first secret now. Your brain throws up these 3 general limiting beliefs as soon as you start thinking about stepping out on your own. This is what stops most people from starting a business and taking control of their finances. Your brain tells you 3 things. First thing it tends to say is, haven't got any money, or certainly haven't got enough money to start a business. That's kind of where it starts from. But you know what? That's probably not true. It's probably true they haven't got any money. That could well be a fact. But that doesn't have to be a reason not to do something different. I can pretty much guarantee that you've probably got the resources that you have right now in your own home. You've got enough there to start a business if you want to. Most people are connected to the internet in some way. Got a laptop, got a tablet, you're connected to the internet. And funnily enough, you'll have skills as well. Those are really the only things that you need to start your own business, to do something different, if you want to. Now, about the money thing, there's always money. There's money in every single house. I'll take you to how I started the business, how I first went into business. I started an eBay business. So basically I looked around my house and I found things. I found things that were sitting there that I wasn't using. Put them straight on eBay, raised some money, and actually put that back into my savings, which enabled me to do other things in business. And funnily enough, you can actually start a business with less than 100 quid if you really want to. So I don't have any money. That doesn't have to stop you. That's limiting belief number 1. Limiting belief number 2, I don't have anything to sell. I blame Dragon's Den for this one, I really do, because people pitch up on Dragon's Den and they start promoting something that's probably taking months, if not years, to develop, and they've already sunk a load of money into it. And you know, there's a lot of creative energy gone into developing an innovative product, so that tends to make most people think, I've never even had that idea, or they've come up with that idea now, where's the opportunity for me? When the reality is, most people in business don't actually come up with anything new at all. It's very easy to sell someone else's product at a very low cost if you want to. Or it might be that you've got skills that you're using in your own employment at the moment that other people will buy. So again, you don't have to have a product to sell. You can actually sell yourself and your experience. A little secret about business. Most people are successful in business. The key to being successful in business is solving someone's problem. If you can solve someone's problem, they will pay you money for it. And that's at the heart of pretty much every single business, whether it's a product that you buy or whether it's a skill that you're selling. Solve a problem, you'll get paid for it. So you really probably do have something you can sell right now. So what about the last one? I don't know how to run a business. Yeah, funnily enough, they don't teach you that in school, do they? Big gap in everyone's education. Guess what? Most people who start a business don't know how to run a business. It's not something that necessarily has to stop you, and there's lots of good reasons for that. The first thing I would say is that you actually don't need to know everything about how to run a business, because there's whole businesses set up to help you do that. But the other thing is, if you surround yourself by like-minded people, there'll be enough people who can help you along. So that should never be the thing that stops you.
Yeah.
Does all that make sense? Are we good so far?
Absolutely.
Good, because I want to take you on to the second secret then. Second secret is some ideas about how you can earn money. There are different ways of doing it, and we'll give you 4 key areas to look at. So the 4 key areas are, you can work for you. You can work for you as a business, or you can make money work for you, number 2. The third one is you can make something once and sell it and sell it and sell it. Or the 4th way to do it is just promote other people's stuff. So I'm going to take you first through the first 2, and then I'm going to hand you over to Wendy, who's going to go through the second 2. Try and go through those in a little bit more detail, if that's all right with everyone.
Yeah, great. Yeah.
Fab. Okay, so working for you, top left-hand corner. Everyone's traditional idea of a business was setting up a shop, selling something. Now, years ago, that had to be massively expensive because you had to find premises, you had to put money in stock, you needed somewhere to store the stock. It wasn't straightforward, it wasn't easy. But there's this thing called technology that's come on now that's been a huge enabler. Makes life much easier now to actually get started in selling something. Like I said earlier, I started off as an eBay seller. Doesn't have to be eBay though. There's plenty of other platforms out there as well. Amazon, Facebook Marketplace, I still sell stuff on Facebook Marketplace. Even if you don't actually have the money to go out and buy products to sell through an online shop, you still probably got things around your house that you could sell because you're not using them. You'd be surprised, I've probably made several £1000s over the years just selling stuff that I didn't need anymore. Most people don't do that. They don't declutter or they give stuff away. But actually, my experience is, if you've got something to sell, there's someone out there to buy it. And that's the beauty of technology. Really, really simple using online platforms to sell. As long as you've got something to sell, it doesn't matter what. The online platform gives you all the processes, it allows you to take payments, it's very easy to set up the templates, it's very easy to sell stuff, to describe the stuff that you're selling, and there's a ready-made marketplace out there. You don't even have to go out and advertise. People are looking for things to buy on those online platforms. So really, really simple to get into a basic selling business these days, and it's technology that's enabled that.
Yeah.
So that's just kind of the online sales platforms. What about tradespeople? So my nice man with the plumber, the spanner there in the middle. Most people think that a trade is another traditional business. What happens if you left school and you didn't go and do your apprenticeship as a hairdresser or an electrician or a plumber? Because that's what most people think about when selling services. But interestingly enough, I know a number of people now who have been made redundant from jobs and actually gone back and ended up doing the job that they used to do in exactly the same way, but on a self-employed contract basis. So actually they're doing nothing new other than getting paid more on a short-term basis to do what they used to do, and actually taking the benefit of that from themselves and having a 6-month holiday for the rest of the year. Doesn't have to be a barrier. People have got skills just by doing what they already do on a self-employed basis. Yes, it's a little bit more insecure, but generally there's enough contracts that you can make money that way without ever having done the apprenticeship or acquired a trade. Or it might be that there's something that you do as a hobby that other people will buy. Photo manipulation, design, graphic design, making birthday cards. I know people who make birthday cards because they enjoy that decoupage, I think they call it. There's different ways of earning a living using skills that you've got without having to have gone through that whole trade apprenticeship. So that's another way of getting into business and working for yourself that doesn't have to be complicated. Really can be quite easy. Other things to consider then. Bottom left-hand corner. Business in a box, I like to call it. So basically, there are a whole raft of businesses out there. There's literally thousands of them. The most basic one I call business in a box, and it is generally otherwise known as network marketing. But what you've got is a situation where you can have someone else's product. The company will provide you with the products, they'll provide you with the training, they'll provide you with the support network, they'll provide you with the marketing material, the procedures, everything that you need to get up and running for actually quite a small investment. Now, Avon is an example of that, Herbalife. There's quite a few product-based ones out there, but you can also do it on a service basis without even having to mess about with the product. So Utility Warehouse is the service provider that no one's ever heard of. It's basically what you're doing with that company is you are selling people savings on their basic household bills. And you can do that on a laptop, connected to the internet, from the convenience of your own home, for less than £100 as a startup. So there's lots of examples like that. Or you can scale that up a bit. So you're talking about slightly bigger franchises. When I ran the pub, in effect, I was working a franchise for Punch Taverns. So the brewery provided the premises, the beer, they helped me introduce me to an accountant, they helped me with my stock taking, they helped me with my HR procedures, my training, provided everything for an initial investment. Now that was £15,000 that I had to put in. Within 12 months, we'd more than doubled that. So it can be done. And again, it's a nice supported way into a business. And that's just one example. There are literally thousands of franchises. Most people think of McDonald's, which is quite a big one, or Domino's. It can be a lot of money to get into those businesses, but you know what? You're buying a brand that everyone wants to buy. So again, you've got a ready-made marketplace. But you can have a franchise as a travel agent, you can have a franchise producing coffee, you can have a coffee machine in a little kind of van as a franchise, cleaning products, coaching services. If you think about it, any kind of business, chances are there's a franchise out there. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, it's another really, really easy way of getting into business. Last example I'll give you is the gig economy. Anyone who's under the age of 20 knows what I'm talking about. Anyone who's over the age of 50 probably doesn't have a clue. I've had to research this one, it doesn't come naturally to me. But the gig economy is basically how most millennials make their money. But it's a business that's provided through an app. Airbnb is an example of an app, Uber, Fiverr. So Fiverr, for example, what you can do is post on Fiverr to say that you want a logo designing. And there's people who log on to Fiverr and say, I will design you a logo if you pay me this much for it. Really, really simple exchange of skills. And it doesn't have to be difficult, doesn't have to be complicated. There's the delivery ones, Uber. So Uber's a taxi service that's organised through an app. Everything's provided for you. You just have to provide the car, the insurance, and prove that you've got a licence. Uber Eats, Hermes. You can get paid by the parcel to deliver your parcel. Those are all on a self-employed basis, and they offer a lot of flexibility. Now, any of those options can be run alongside a full-time job or could provide an additional income alongside an existing business as a nice, gentle way of getting into business, or you can dive in with both feet and actually run a business and be really, really successful. There's people making six-figure salaries through things like the business in a box, because they've got the ability, they've got the skills, and they've got a huge support network around them, and they've got the will to do it, the drive to do it, so anyone can do it. So there you go, a few examples of working for yourself.
I just say Fiverr's a really good platform for if you deliver any marketing services or any kind of graphic designs yourself. It's a great platform to actually advertise your services on, and there are some good quality products on Fiverr. It's not always just for Fiverr.
Yeah, it's that technology enabler that's made life so much easier to get into business.
Definitely.
So, working for you, that's the first secret. Second area to look at then is how about if you've got some money, how you make that money work for you. This is probably the area I've been most successful in. And again, it's an area you've got to be careful with. My experience is that there's a lot of get-rich-quick schemes out there. So you do have to do your due diligence. You have to use your common sense. You have to be prepared to educate yourself. In my experience, there is no such thing as a free lunch. So if something looks too good to be true, guess what? It probably is. But if you're prepared to spend time researching things, prepared to talk to the right experts and potentially buy in a bit of expertise, then investing is a way of making money work for you, and it's a way of generating another income. Now, most people don't think about that as running a business, but in effect you are, because what you're doing is you're bringing in money on your terms by buying assets that give you an income stream. So the classic example of that is property. Property is what most people think of when they think of investments. Now, it is possible to buy property and get a cash flow straight away. It's possible to make money by buying cheap property and flipping it. It's equally possible to make money out of your own home if you've got a spare room, for example. Most people don't know that you can earn up to £7,500 outside of London just by renting out your spare room for a year without actually having to pay any tax. And it's even more if you happen to live in London. So, you know, most people won't necessarily think of that as a way of getting income from property, but that's a great start way to get in there. Or if you've got no money whatsoever, you can still make money from property. If you're prepared to educate yourself, you're prepared to learn, and you want to package together deals for an investor to buy, they'll pay you to do that. It's also possible to get money from companies like Aldi or Domino's by going to their website, finding out where they're going to put their next premises, where they're going to put their next supermarket, for example, finding the location for them and passing that on to their buyers. They'll pay you money for that if you provide them with the right marketplace, the right piece of land, the right property. But it's a matter of educating yourself and getting to know people. So property is a way where you can make money work for you if you've got money there. And it's a nice long-term investment. My experience is that property tends to grow in the long run. I know there's horror stories where people have put money into property and lost it, but generally if you don't buy at the top of the market, my personal experience is that you'll always make money in the long run. So that's property. The second area that I invest in is equities. Now again, people tend to see that as quite scary, but to be fair, equities are an opportunity if you're prepared to use the expertise around you that performs in a very similar way to property. You can see peaks and troughs in the market. I personally don't think that day trading is necessarily the best way of making money from equities. That one feels too much like horse racing for me, it's too much of a gamble. But if you involve experts and you spread your risk across a range of equities, it's an opportunity to make money in the long run. The last area that I've started to look at is cryptocurrency. Oh, now that's an interesting area. Because it is new, yes, there's a lot of opportunities out there that probably aren't very genuine opportunities, so you have to be careful. But Bitcoin is becoming quite a mature currency now. It's quite recognised, and a lot of the traditional financial markets are starting to accept Bitcoin as a credible alternative investment strategy. So it's interesting. Bitcoin's probably my most risky investment, but it's certainly money that I've prepared to put aside a little in, because I think the returns are going to be very good. Investing is a way of earning money for yourself, but it's very much a mindset thing. My experience is that it's not about short-term gains. If you're looking for short-term gains, then it's potentially not what you're looking for. But if you're looking for something that will help you in the longer run as an additional income, it's certainly worth doing some investigation in and educating yourself. You might be able to make some money that way. So that's secrets number 1 and 2 out of our ways to earn money. Wendy, would you like to take over now?
Sure, thank you, Kath. So make once, sell, and then sell again. So the concept behind that is to create something that you can use again and again and again, and it doesn't continue to take up your time. So for instance, the book I've written is now written, it's up on Amazon, and I just do a bit of promoting, sending people to the link, and people will buy the book. I also produced a training course, and so again, that's something that I've created once, and then it's available for sale, and my job is just to market and drive people, the right people, into buying it. You can write a book, you can create a course, or you do also have the option to buy something called private label rights products. So I think the website is plrproducts.com, and on this website they've got a whole range of books, training courses that have been written by someone else that you can buy and then have the right to sell on, so you can brand it as your own product. So if you're wanting to get something kind of put together quite quickly, or perhaps you want to get some bits and pieces to sell along with your services, just to kind of sort of grow your product line, if you like, quickly, then it's a really easy way of doing that. Most of the stuff on there is American made, so you do have to be, check the content of it and look at it carefully, but there is some really good stuff out there as well, so it's definitely worth thinking along those lines. Then there's promoting other people's stuff, and there are, the opportunity to promote other people's stuff is just huge. So we've got Amazon Associates, so you can sign up to be an Amazon Associate, and you can get a little link from Amazon and you can stick it on your website. And if anyone comes onto your website and clicks on that Amazon link and they buy anything, then you will get a kickback or a percentage of what they spend. So that's one way of doing it. The other thing about Amazon, of course, is the fulfillment and service that they offer. So you can go onto Amazon, look on their best sellers, look up their best-selling products, choose a product that potentially fits the niche that you're in, so whatever area of business you're in at the moment or you want to be in, pick a product that's in the best-selling list, take those product details, go to Alibaba.com, which is a site where you can buy in bulk, and so you can find the same product buy it in bulk a lot cheaper. Alibaba will ship it direct to Amazon, and Amazon will then pick and pack it as your people that you send to your page order it. So it's a really neat way of kind of setting up a shop and making money through selling products without having the hassle of having to figure out where you store it or how you organize the postage and packaging. Your job really is just to create a post on the Amazon website and then drive traffic to the shop area you've set up. Similarly, Etsy. Etsy, I don't know if any of you are familiar with Etsy. You can set up an Etsy shop for free, and then you can sell stuff on it. Similarly to Amazon, you can search for products that people are looking for, people are already buying, that are already selling successfully. You can buy them from China, I guess, or America, from these big warehouses. But with Etsy, you're probably going to have the stock yourself and then pass the stock on to people as people buy it. So maybe a little bit more work involved. Etsy tends to be a bit more artsy craftsy, so people who like making things quite often will sell stuff on Etsy. And just across here is Printify. Now Printify, it's really interesting. So you can go onto canva.com and create a logo or a design. You can take that design and then go into Printify and you can put it on t-shirts, mugs, tea towels, posters, a whole range of products, and create a shop. And quite often people will take stuff from Printify and will sell it on an Etsy shop. But you can have a whole branded line of stuff that you can really easily sell. And what Printify do is, again, someone places their order, Printify will print the piece of that's been ordered, and then they will ship it to your customer. So you're just basically driving traffic to your site where you're advertising all that stuff. I think I set it up in a couple of hours and then started driving traffic to it. And apparently mugs with slogans on are really, really popular. So something's really easy to kind of have a go at. ClickFunnels. One of the things that you have to do when you're selling things, whatever business you're in, and any of the businesses that we've talked about, is you need to be able to market it. You need to be able to drive people to buy your stuff. So ClickFunnels is a great way to do that. So you can go through the ClickFunnels training and learn how to build funnels, or you could get someone to build funnels for you. And ClickFunnels also have affiliate programs as well. So if you like what you see at ClickFunnels, you can share the link with your contacts, and then anyone that buys anything from ClickFunnels will automatically, you will get a cut of what they spend with ClickFunnels. Similarly, Legendary Marketer, this is a fairly new one I've been involved with recently. What they do is they help you to promote affiliate links. So if you go to this website here, ClickBank have thousands and thousands and thousands of items, either services or products, that people are looking for affiliates to sell. So you would go on there, you would choose a product, again, something that's within your niche or that's relevant to your marketplace. Then you get a link for that product, and then you would do a funnel, or you might do Facebook posting, or you do advertising somewhere with that link in it. People click on the link. If they buy that product, you'll get a kickback of buying that product. So again, it's a bit of technology involved, but once you get your head around it, it is really easy and works really, really well. And these are things, again, that you kind of set up, and once they're in place, you're just kind of driving people to look at the various different things that you're producing for them. So quite easy to kind of keep going with, if you like. So Legendary Marketer helps you to create the sales process that delivers the links that you can get from ClickBank, if that makes sense. So there's a bit of kind of using different software to make the whole kind of online business work. One of the other sites I came across recently is Audible. So you can register with Audible to read a book. So people who've written books want them to be available on Audible, You can register as a, can't think of the word, as a reader, and then you can actually read their books and get paid for it. And it's quite a good hourly rate. It varies depending on the type of book that you're reading. But again, it's just another way to sell your services, if you like, or another way to kind of make money. Kath mentioned eBay and Facebook, and again, these are places you can, you know, sell stuff that you've already got. The other option is going to stores when they've got sales on, buying stuff at discount, and then selling them for more money as well. So you can do those. Again, you could do that on Amazon, or you could also do it on Etsy or eBay. So there's the amount of options that are available today for people to start an online business and have something that is fairly easy to manage and can almost run by itself once you kind of set it up and got all the processes going. It's so easy to do. It's mind-blowing.
I love that. I love the idea of using technology, taking something that someone else is wanting to sell and sell on their behalf, and getting a kickback every time someone just clicks on a link. I just think it's amazing.
Yeah.
I think when Wendy and I first started getting into businesses and how far things have moved on since then, it's absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, I didn't realise it was so easy to sort of link all these things together, you know. Fantastic.
Wendy's the expert on that one.
Yeah, I'm not going to say it's easy. It does take time, but if you kind of, each one of these sites has training in it. So if you spend a bit of time doing the training, and once you get the hang of it, it will all come together, you know, nicely. None of this is a quick way to make lots of money. None of them are get rich quick schemes, if you like. They're all kind of things that you need to build on. And I think it's anything, isn't it? You put the effort in, and you know, you reap the rewards. Once these things are up and running, they should just run without too much input from yourself.
Thank you very much, Wendy. So this brings us on to the last of the 3 JFDI secrets, the 7 key business skills that you need if you're going to run a business. Now, I say need. The first one, mindset, is non-negotiable. Only you can master your mindset. So if you're going to learn anything, if you're going to invest in anything, invest some work in your mindset, because if your mindset is right, you can achieve absolutely anything. If you set your mind to producing an extra income stream alongside a full-time job, alongside another business, and you want to make a success of it, you will do, providing you're in the right frame of mind, because that opens up the possibilities and it helps you find everything else that you need. The other is technical skills, which anyone who's running a business needs to either know or needs to know someone who knows. A key piece of running a business is definitely networking, being able to get to know other people, being able to have conversations with people, being able to have online conversations with people.
And to build a tribe as well in your niche.
Yeah. But if it's something that you're uncomfortable with face to face, that's fine. There are other avenues these days. We're all doing it online these days. It makes life much easier. So it's a skill that's worth building. IT skills tend to be very, very useful in today's business environment. With the best will in the world, even if you're running a traditional shop, you're still going to need a website, you're still going to need online payments. So knowing about IT and technology is a useful thing. Marketing is definitely something which is a useful skill to acquire. If you're going to sell anything, whether it's your services or whether it's products, you need to be able to tell your audience about them. Sales, understanding how a sales process works, understanding how to track sales, understanding how to look after your customers and take care of your customers, really useful skill. Finance is fundamental. If you don't know about how much you're earning, you could get yourself into trouble. If you don't have enough cash, your business could fold. So understanding how to manage finances helps make a business run better. And the last piece is HR, particularly if you're going to employ people. It's important that you have HR skills. The good news is, though, you don't need to know any of those personally if you don't want to. There are skills that you probably have already that you might want to learn and you might want to expand on. But equally, there's a whole business ecosystem out there that is out there to support businesses. Now, it might be if you're very good at networking personally, you can actually make a living teaching other people how to network. Or you might be able to provide an online networking service for someone. So just because that might not be your skill set, and if you really don't want to learn it, you don't actually have to, providing you've got the money to pay other people. The one thing you need to know about business is you need to know how much it costs to put something out there. As long as you're being paid more than that cost is, you will make money. Running a business is as simple as that. The key to all of this is surrounding yourself with the right people. You hang around with the right people and they will help you and they will support you and they will guide you. None of this is easy. So we'll come on to a final quote, because I like my quotes. Good old Henry Ford, he's always good for a quote. And this quote really typifies 2020. When everything seems to be going against you, remember that the airplane takes off against the wind, not with it. Sometimes you've got to face the wind to soar and to get to where you want to be.
Yeah.
There's no reason why the stuff that's going against you should stop you fulfilling your dreams. And if you want to take that step and be brave and do something different, then now's the time to do it. So, has anyone got any questions? Or alternatively, how can we help you move forward with it?